Hi everyone, it's Justin here at Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching, listening here in the United States or across the world. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us on this particular episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. If you can do us quick favors that are free to do. Give us thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost. Follow us on social media. We're heavily on Instagram and Facebook. And if you can, another free thing you can do to help us reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond is to reach out to 25 or 50 contacts in your phone, let them know about the Voices for Voices organization as well as our TV show and podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Justin Allen Hayes, founder of Voices for Voices. Let's get started. This episode is going to be a public service announcement, and you'll hear why and watch why. Uh, So YouTube, right? That's one of the platforms we use uh, for our show. And this show is not meant to uh, negatively talk about YouTube. This is to talk about children, uh, a particular show that I have been made aware of due to my child watching it on not only well, she's watched it on her school computer, school laptop that she has. 7 years old, okay? And the show I'm talking about, I know I'm going to get so much heat for this, but it's got to be said because nobody has said it yet. So this Salish and Jordan Matter show, it started out as like the Ninja Kids or something like that, and now it's uh, you know, down to the I don't even know if they're in the same family. They may be. I'm not saying they're not. But knowing how shows are put together and entertainment, actors, actresses, I'm not 100% sure. That's not what I'm really getting at. What I'm getting at is a particular show that the Salish and Jordan Matters show on YouTube have out there, and it is available on children's. Again, my child, 7 years old, is able to watch this show. Salish is teenager. Jordan is the dad. I don't know how old he is. 40, 50, 60. I don't know. And so they have these shows, okay. And you're saying, okay, so what's the big deal? Well, one of the shows of theirs that, again, is available and my 7-year-old is able to watch, Jordan, the dad and the daughter, Salish and Jordan are at an airport. I'm not sure what airport it is. I'm sure they probably mention it during the show. But I was so outraged. I I don't remember which airport it is. So we all know, or unless you've been living under a rock for the last 26 years or so, uh, going to an airport for travel, right? There's security, right? Security, checks our bags, our shoes, just everything, okay? And you always, and I've traveled a lot, luckily over the years, And you would know if you have been in an airport. There's usually an announcement that comes on every so often. I don't know, every 5 minutes or so. Uh, don't leave your bags unattended, this and that. Report to authorities, and the bag could be confiscated. And so you hear all these things that are related to security, making sure uh, people are as safe as humanly possible. And you're probably thinking, all right, so what's the big deal about an airport and having security? Well, one of the Jordan and Salish matter shows they're at an airport and they're apparently trying to find each other. And so Jordan, the dad, uh, goes and gets these prosthetics. So he's got a face that's, covers his regular face. He's got, fake nose. Anyway, so he's dressing up as somebody he's not. And the daughter, Salish, is supposed to be trying to find him, or I'm not, I really don't know 1,000% exactly what the show is intended to do. I guess it's entertainment, but again, Salish is a teenager, Jordan is a dad. My daughter's 7, and this show is on my daughter, who is 7's school laptop. It's available to be watched on her laptop, which I don't agree with. I've already talked about how I'm unhappy with the schools and how they just let big tech tell them how it's going to be if you're going to buy these computers for the children at your school. Anyways, so Jordan's in the airport. So the dad's inside the airport where all the security, there's uniform and plain clothes, air marshals, or it's portrayed to us, the general public, that an airport is supposed to be safe and secure as can be. And I don't think it is right, and I don't think I'm the only one, if you actually look at it through this lens, I don't think it's right for anybody to go to an airport and pretend that they're not who they actually are, right? We would call that like identity fraud, uh, identity theft. There's some legal things that this could be, right? Because an airport's supposed to be safe and secure. Well, if somebody is dressed up as somebody that they're not, and they're running around with a camera, both of them, they each have cameras following them. But the fact that Jordan is dressed up as somebody that he's not, I think is a security threat. Okay? Is he carrying around a weapon? No, I don't know. I don't think he is. And you say, well, what's the big deal? Like, he put a fake nose on, it's because he's pretending to be somebody he's not. Do you want somebody on your plane to be dressed up as somebody they're not? They get through security and then they go change and then now they come out as a completely different person. I'm not saying that Jordan and Salish are wishing harm on anybody, 'cause I don't. But what I do think is this particular episode needs to be taken down. Number one, just from the straight up security standpoint, okay? Straight up security. I think the only time security even like found them, Jordan was just like, "Oh, we were just doing a video and I have prosthetics on and blah 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 blah." And security is cool with that. Well, I'm not cool with it. If I got to get searched, all my bags, everything, and I get my ID and everything's, and yeah, I got to go through all that bullshit. And these motherfuckers are there faking who they are just for a video to go on YouTube. I got a problem with that. And some of you may say, we're using foul language and that kid shouldn't be watching. I don't claim to be, and we don't claim to be, um, we don't claim to be a show for 7-year-olds that have access to it, okay? The camera and the computer and all that it's filming this particular episode, it's mine. It's not my daughter's. So when my daughter is watching this particular episode, which millions of people have, millions of views, and Jordan and Salish are being paid, I don't know how much money, but a lot of money. And so I got a real problem when people like that, anybody, but especially people like that, are going into a place that's supposed to be secure and they're pretending that, at least Jordan is, pretending to be somebody he's not, so his daughter isn't able to find him for some challenge. Get the fuck out of here. That stuff has no business on any platform. So YouTube, I'm asking for you to take this video down. Because guess what? Guess what happens when children see or hear certain things? We know that the brain, it grows from back to front. And the front and prefrontal cortex deals with reasoning. And so when they're exposed to shows like this, makes it seem like it's okay. Who knows? Who knows how many other children go, oh, well, I saw it on this YouTube show, so it must be okay. I was just faking who I was so my daughter couldn't, find me or like that has no business anywhere in society, let alone for Jordan and Salish to be compensated for all the views and that security security should have kicked their asses out of the airport. I mean, plain and simple, it's cut and dry. If you show up as somebody or not, if somebody shows up to a bank and they rob it and they have something on their face and their head or they're wearing things to disguise who they are. I know Jordan and Salish aren't robbing a bank, but come on, folks. We're going into what's supposed to be a very secure place, and we have people that are joking around. Uh, oh, is my daughter find me? Can my daughter see me? Does she think it's me? I thought I got, these prosthetics and I thought I did these things so she wouldn't be able to find me. So, number one, this show should be thrown off of YouTube. Number two, this should not be available to 7-year-olds who are still growing. We know that the brain doesn't completely finish growing until sometime in our 20s years old. So that's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with this show. It's okay. And then I get shit for stuff that's First Amendment for sharing, my our thoughts in that. So it's a public service announcement because people shouldn't be going in to the airports or other places. What if you went into what if Jordan went into a bank dressed like that? I would hope that security would be called, that the police would come and arrest him for doing that, whether it was a joke, whatever it is. I don't give a shit what it is. Do it at your house. I don't know. Don't do it in a public place like that. And now it's out for millions to see, and children are seeing that and they're saying, well, I watched this show and it must be okay because it's on YouTube. It's on the TV, so that it's okay to do that. Is that really the message, parents and guardians and anybody with a conscience out there? Is that really what we want to be putting in front of our children or adults? Anybody that says, "Oh, okay, yeah, that was pretty funny." I don't think it's funny because I don't care if they're in the baggage claim, if they're before security, if they're at the ticket count. I don't care where it's at in the airport. The fact that I'm going to be searched and asked to who I am and all these things, that I got to go through that. The rest of society has got to go through with that. Yeah, you get these assholes that consider and laugh and play his game and dress up. I don't think that's okay. And again, anybody with a conscience, parent, guardian, that your child probably has a laptop issued from school. If you go, I don't know if it's all public schools or what, but there's a lot of children out there that have access to this particular show. So what do you think's going to happen? If they see something and think it's okay, what happens when the next person does it? And then the next person does it. And then the next person does it. And then people go, well, they didn't mean it. It was just on the show. And they were just recording themselves so they could, get, YouTube famous. Um, that's one of the big problems I have. And so that's why it's a public service announcement because the public should not be able to see a show like this, whether you're a child or whether you're an adult. It shouldn't be thought of as acceptable because of it. Oh, it's entertainment. I don't think that's entertainment. When you're going into what's from the point you park to the point you leave the plane after you've flown wherever you're going and left the airport in a rental car or other transportation. It's supposed to be one of the most secure places. And by allowing this show to be seen by millions of people over and over and over again, shame on you, YouTube. Shame on you, schools who have laptops, computers that children have, that they're able to see this particular show. Again, I'm not knocking YouTube as a whole. I'm not knocking Jordan Salish outside of this. But when I see and hear on my daughter, who's 7 years old, this particular episode, she's gonna think it's okay. And I don't want her or your child or who you are a guardian to. We don't need Lucy's ground, so she agrees. Yeah, she's upset too. So I don't think it's okay. You don't think it's okay. YouTube, please take that video down. Schools, you need to do a better job of monitoring and regulating what can and cannot be viewed by age. I've already gone on other episodes where we've talked about on these laptops that there's advertisements for trucks and other things. Like I said, my 7-year-old can't drive, so why is a particular Chevy truck or Dodge truck? Why is that on my daughter's computer? Why does she see that? Oh, because of the parents. I get it. I'm a marketing person. I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. None of us are stupid. The people that put this together aren't stupid. They're trying to gain sales so they can get a bigger salary, bigger bonus, more shares of the stock, whatever. That's the deal. And Jordan and Salish, the more people to view it and watch it, the more money they get. And I don't think they should be getting paid for presenting themselves as someone that they're not, using prosthetics, fake nose, all these things, in what is supposed to be a secure place. So that really takes my viewpoint on airports as they're not as safe as they should be. Because if they're allowing this shit to go on, that's not that's not a safe place. Like I said, they should have been kicked the fuck out instead of, oh, okay, yeah, you're just doing a YouTube video. I don't care. I don't care what they have to say. Oh, we're doing a YouTube video. Okay, we'll go do a YouTube video somewhere that you're not presenting yourself as somebody you're not. Okay? Just do that. And school administrators, shame on you. Shame on Jordan Salish. Shame on YouTube for this particular show. I'm all for First Amendment, but I'm not for when people are presenting themselves as somebody they're not in what's supposed to be a very secure zone. So all these extra fees that I'm paying every time I buy a plane ticket, oh, security this, security that. Well, if you're letting this go on, I want my money back for all of the flights I've taken. I want my money back because you're letting this shit go on. And it's not funny. I don't find it a bit funny because it's just like some politicians and you know uh rules for thee, not for me. So the rules are for me, but not for Jordan Salish, or not for school administrators that are buying these computers in bulk. So rules for thee, not for me. That's what Jordan Salish are doing on this video. And that's what security is like. Well, they're just doing a YouTube video, so they're not a security concern. Okay, uh, that's their stance, but it's a wrong stance. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't think about it. Why did they do it? Because they knew they'd probably get a heck of a lot of views for it. And they have. And so every time a child, an individual watches this, they number one think it's okay to dress up in an airport and pretend they're somebody they're not and not get in any type of trouble at all. And secondly, school administrators. We talk a lot about, what happens sometimes in schools with some activities that are that injure people. I'm not going to say the specific words, but we're supposed to, make our schools as safe as possible. Well, if this activity is allowed to be done in what's supposed to be a safe space, which is an airport, now I start to question the safety and security at schools. Is it as lackadaisical, lazy? Oh, you're just doing a YouTube video, so we'll just let it slide. Like it's no big deal. I don't know about you, and this isn't your show. This isn't your show, Jordan Salish, but you needed to be called out, and so I'm calling you out. I don't have the following that you have. I don't have millions of followers, and I, that's fine. There's going to be someone somewhere that this is going to get through to that hopefully puts this type of activity to an end and gets it the heck off of my child's computer, laptop that they're going to have for all their years going through from first grade on. So I think I've been pretty blunt, pretty clear about what we talk about here on this particular show. Public service announcement. The public needs to know about this because the public needs to know that they can't go and do this, or can they? So right, this does set a precedent. We talk about legally and talk about like, oh well, this case, 20 years ago, here's what happened, and talking about that legally and your legal arguments, litigation, and all that. This show with Jordan and Salish Matter at the airport, dressed up as somebody who they're not, just to get some views and some clicks and get paid and have security to blow it off like it's nothing. I I I have a big problem with that. And I know once it's listened to and watched this particular episode, there's going to be a lot of other people that are going to be wondering the same thing. Because some parents don't care. Some guardians don't care. It's just the way it is. It's the way life is. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. But when I see something, I'm saying something. And so YouTube, please take this Jordan and Salish video down. School administrators, please have regulations where the only things available on the computer are age appropriate and they're not able to access if there are shows like this, which there are, because it's it's only been a day or two since my daughter's had it on her laptop computer. So it's still there. It didn't disappear. It didn't stop getting used. It hasn't been flagged. I had a video taken down for me using the First Amendment. So for me, just talking, and so all this is mental health related because people start thinking in their mind like, oh, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, and then what if they get in, what if these hypothetical individuals get in trouble? Well, Jordan, well, I saw it on this YouTube video. Jordan Salish matter. So it should be okay. They didn't get in trouble. You see where we're going, folks? See how silly this is? That we're even having to have this discussion? None of this is silly. It's serious. But it's silly that we, in the year 2026, can't deal with these types of issues the way they need to be handled. We don't want to hurt their feelings. Oh, okay. Oh, well, if I got to be put through the ringer going from the moment I park my car on the premises, like I said, and I go up to security and I go to the ticket counter and I check my bag or whatever. If I got to go through all these things and people looking at me and they're going, okay, is this person, could this potentially be a threat? If I got to go through that, which I'm not, and I've never been a threat. But Salish and Jordan Matter are allowed because, they have this popular show and millions of people watch and that. I don't want that for my daughter. You shouldn't want that for your children or the children you care for. Whether, oh, this is a funny show or it's not funny. It's supposed to be secure. And it's showing that it's okay to just go in and film a video like this. So is it okay to go into somebody else's house dressed up as somebody else? Like I said, go into a bank and go to the teller and you're dressed up as somebody or not. I think in all those cases should be arrested. So thank you for joining us on this episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. It's been a pleasure. It's been hard topic talking about. I know we're going to get some heat, actually a lot of heat for what we the content of this show. I don't care. I care about helping people. So I don't want the teenager and the dad of another family decides to do the same thing, and then they get arrested and they get have to go to court when these people, Jordan and Salish Matter, did it and they did not then get in trouble for it. I want to be safe. I think you want to be safe too. But I don't find it funny like Jordan said to the security guard like, "Oh, we were just doing a video. Yeah, these are just prosthetics and it shouldn't matter. Should be in the back of a cop car heading down to the police station or heading to the jail. Otherwise, why have the laws? Why have all these security fees that people got to pay for if they're not being instituted?" So thank you for joining us. We send our love and support to you. You don't have to be a believer to follow us, to be a part of Voices for Voices. Just have to be a human being. And we just want what's best for everybody. We want to reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next show. Bye bye for now.